About how long will this interview be?
Uh, 15 minutes
Okay,
sounds pretty much efficient, but
good.
yeah, this is definitely great, Donnell. I mean, we spoke before, and what can I
Yes, we
say?
did.
The first time we spoke was an absolute honor, of course. I mean, to speak to the owner of the Hollywood Museum, the goddaughter of Jose Iturbi, this is definitely good stuff. What can I say?
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful.
And
How's COVID been treating you?
Pretty good, Donnell. What can I say? You know, living every day, you know, the best to the best of my ability. I mean, I only work 2 days a week. But other than that, I'm pretty much spending my time interviewing good people like you.
Wonderful, wonderful.
So, anyways, with that being said, of course, everybody knows you as the owner of the Hollywood Museum, the historical Max Factor building in Hollywood. And also, you are a recipient of the Founders Award for the 24th Family Film Awards coming up tomorrow, actually April 22nd on the Reels Channel Network. It airs 8 until 10 p.m. That's Eastern Standard Time, 5 until 7 Pacific. And then again, it'll be on from 11 p.m. until 1 a.m. So that's actually, that would actually be 12 until 2 a.m. in the morning, my time. But unfortunately, I don't get the Reels channel. But, anyways, with that being said, this is definitely good stuff, Donelle. And tell me more about this.
Well, it's a real honor. I have to tell you, absolutely thrilling to think that, one is recognized for something that one loves to do. And it's, this is what happens. I'm so excited about having created the Hollywood Museum. With my mother and I together, I had this dream, and I always thank my mother that she allowed me to make my dream a reality. She didn't tell me, oh, no, don't do this. Well, let somebody else deal with it. You have no idea how much hard work there will be and how long it will take you. But instead, my mother was extremely supportive. And for this, I am always grateful. And as a result, I always mention it. When I receive an award, I receive it always with my mother in mind and with our Hollywood honorary mayor, Johnny Grant, in mind too. Those are my two angels who really pushed me and kept me on the straight and narrow and frankly did not allow me to give up.
No, I think it's important too that we don't give up on the dreams that we want to accomplish. I mean, I didn't. So there you go. And from what I can see, are you at the Hollywood Museum right now from that video I'm seeing?
Don't you love it? I'm on the second floor,
Oh,
and
man.
this is in front of the Pointer Sisters, a view from Anita Pointer.
Need a
And
pointer.
this is her collection of the clothes that the Pointer Sisters wore and Anita's costumes for the last 50 years. And they are colorful, as you can see it. And we so enjoyed putting this exhibit together. And I can hardly wait when the museum reopens to welcome everyone back to see this.
Oh, that's going to be awesome, Donnell. What can I say? And I'm not even in Hollywood right now. And I love these Zoom interviews because I get to see that I find Zoom interviews a lot like, well, I guess a phone interview, if the person's not comfortable doing a Zoom, I can accept that. But when I have opportunities to do Zoom interviews like with yourself, I go for it. And this is just wonderful. I mean, it's almost like I'm in Hollywood, but I'm not in Hollywood.
I know, it's so exciting. And little by little, Hollywood is starting to open up. And next month we'll open up more, and in June more. And, we look forward to it for locals and tourists alike.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I was also looking up your godfather, Jose Iturbi, and he was in a lot of good movies. Like, whoa, I mean, well, before my time, of course, but I mean, he was in a lot of movies. I mean, there's like a list of them there. But
Oh, so true. With some greats, whether it's Frank Sinatra, Gene Kelly, Catherine Grayson, all the greats at the time, And fun part for my godfather was that he always played himself, and Jose Iturbi always was a good character, and he was always promoting classical music, and that was his goal. That was the reason he chose to be part of the MGM motion picture family in the 40s and early 50s, because it was about promoting more quality films, the musicals, and for him promoting the love and the enjoyment of classical music.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I'm also reading here. I probably read this before, but hey, um, you are also the president of the. Okay, well, we got that part, but you're also aren't you? You are the it's right here. Okay, Hollywood. Oh, here we are. You are also the president of the Hollywood Historical Trust, which controls the Hollywood Walk of Fame, too, right? So you control that
Well,
too?
almost. I'm chair of the board. We don't have a president, so I'm chair of the board of the Hollywood Historic Trust. And yes, we control the sidewalks for the Walk of Fame.
Oh, fantastic, fantastic. So, well, there's a lot of people who have their name on the Walk of Fame. Does the Hollywood Museum have a Walk of Fame thing?
Exhibit, yes, we do. We love the Walk of Fame, and the most exciting part of all is that it's constantly changing and always being updated. And we have some wonderful photographs and key artifacts from those exhibits. And it's so much fun to be able to explain to our visitors how the star is made, how the selection for the celebrity to become a graduate in each year's class for them to be nominated for a star. And again, because Hollywood's honorary mayor, Johnny Gratt, was my mentor and my very first friend in Hollywood, and as a result, my best friend in Hollywood, he took time to explain all of it to me. And I really enjoy the role that we play as part of the Hollywood community and with the Walk of Fame.
Wow, that's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. And also a national board of member of the Smithsonian. Now, what is that? What's Smithsonian?
Well, the Smithsonian Museum that everybody
Ah,
knows about. In fact, there's actually 19 museums, if you can imagine,
wow.
in Washington, D.C. And I'm a member of the National Board of Directors. And it's very exciting. And in fact, we have our spring meeting coming up later on this week. Normally, we'd be in Washington, D.C., all of us coming from all different parts of the United States and from around the world. But now everything, as you know, is virtual until, and so in a couple days, we're going to start our virtual springboard meeting.
Okay, that'll be nice. That'll be nice. And hopefully someday down the road when this COVID thing is will be totally done and over with, you'll be able to have more people come into the museum and check it out. Right
Oh, we're
now.
so looking forward to it. We're so looking forward to it. My goal is that for us to be, participating with everyone and having the museum open, I'm hoping by July. I think that's a good time to think. We're going to see how the city operates Los Angeles and what the protocols are going to be. We don't need to be the first, but we want everyone to be safe and secure and comfortable when they come to the museum. And we're going to follow the protocols that are going to be called out as these following months start. It'll become much more clear what is needed.
Right on. At this time, Donnell, how many people can you allow into the museum due to the COVID regulations?
Well, right now we are closed
Okay.
because I think that's the safest thing to be because there's so many people unsure. And I want everyone to be comfortable when they come in. And I want for, all of our employees to be comfortable too. And, we've got regulars that come. Would you believe we're a museum where regulars come? Folks from the neighborhood come. I sometimes 3, 4, 5, 6 times a year they come in because our exhibits rotate so quickly in addition to the exhibits that are part of the museum full time. But so there's always something for someone to see, and our locals really enjoy that, as do the professionals in the industry. But because of COVID, so much has changed. So much has changed.
Wow. And what makes the Hollywood Museum so amazing, although I've never been there in my entire life, living in Canada, Cape Breton, Nova Scotia, Canada, um, what makes the Hollywood Museum so amazing, think of every TV show you watched in your life that you loved. Batman, Wonder Woman. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's at the Hollywood Museum.
So true. All of your favorites, whether they're from the 50s, I Love Lucy,
Oh, yeah.
I Dream of Jeannie, The Doris Day Show, Leave It to Beaver, the list goes on and on and on. Happy Days, Cheers. We love it all, Batman, as you mentioned,
Mhm.
Superman, Wonder Woman, Bionic Woman, $6 Million Man, all of our favorites from Once Upon a Time that really left an impression on us. And even today, it's fun to watch when you can catch them on television.
Oh, absolutely. And I'm sure from time to time, those great actors and actresses have visited the Hollywood Museum, and I'm sure you had the pleasure of meeting them.
For sure. At every exhibit opening, it's thrilling to think that all of these celebrities truly enjoy visiting us and they speak at the opening night ceremonies and we hear great stories from Once Upon a Time and they're joined by their co-stars and guest stars and other celebrities of the era. It's a great evening, always our opening night parties for these exhibits.
Oh, fantastic. And I saw some of the pictures, and you're in a picture with another actress who I had the pleasure of interviewing, and that's Joan Van Ark.
Ah, yes. It was our ladies' night for Knots
Ah,
Landing. All of the stars came out that night. I mean, it was fabulous.
oh yeah, oh yeah. I mean, and they still look good to this day. I mean, wow, it's almost like, well, they've changed, but it's like they never changed. I mean,
Yeah,
they're still
time stood still for these ladies. It's
exactly.
crazy.
That's a good
Yeah.
way of putting it. Time definitely stood still, and so amazing. Nita Pointer from the Pointer Sisters, and this is how I actually got connected with Roger Neal. I said, could I interview them sometime? And so I got the email, and you get so excited when you get an email, especially when you make a request because you're thinking, okay, it's going to be we appreciate you asking, but sorry, they're not interested. You always get you always get that feeling. So, I mean, only one way to find out, click on the email. And sure enough, I would love for you to interview Anita Pointer. So, and this is how pretty much me and Roger's kind of working relationship started, which was great. And he's a nice man, Roger. I'm sure you're very honored to have him as your publicist.
Well, I love Roger Neal and the museum loves Roger Neal. And, it's a funny thing because Anita and I go back a long time and we have got similar friends. And so it was fun when we were going to do the Pointer Sisters exhibit, and Anita and her granddaughter, Roxy, and her sister, who sadly passed away last year, Bonnie, were
I heard
integral
about that.
parts in
Yes.
putting all of this together. And I was thrilled to make that introduction. And of course, Roger and Anita just clicked. What can I say?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And one of my dream interviews, I had so many dream interviews. We won't get through that today, and another dream interview I had was to interview Burt Ward. And
Ah,
true Roger
yes.
Neal, guess what? I've interviewed him, so which was great.
Well, Bert, along with other stars from the Batman series and the celebrity guests, because every episode had a celebrity guest.
Wow.
And so it was great. But Bert was there with his wife, Tracy.
Mhm.
They're fabulous. We love them. I've known Bert for quite some time, thanks to Roger, and he's a fan of the museum.
Wow.
And he was so helpful with our Batman exhibit.
Wow. Well, here's the Family Film Awards. Here's to you, Donelle Dadigan. Here's to Roger Neal and everybody that walks through, or gets to walk through the Hollywood Museum when this whole COVID-19 is over. God bless you all. Donnell, thanks so much for taking time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it. All the best to you. Congratulations, I think, are in order, and all the best to you.
Thank you so much, Jack, and see you in Hollywood.
Take care. Bye bye.